everyone. Thank you for joining us at Liminal for this yet another exciting episode of All About Blockchain, where we talk about everything under the roof of this dynamic world of Web3. I am Akansha Sharma, Manager PR and Events at Liminal. Liminal is a wallet infrastructure platform for securing your digital assets. Our customizable plug and play wallet architecture helps crypto native companies improve their operational efficiency and ensure utmost cost optimization. Today, we have gathered here to talk about a very interesting topic with an equally exciting guest lineup. Before we move on to the topic of discussion, I would like to take a small minute to thank our followers. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. In our last episode, we talked about the adoption barriers for blockchain. Going further with this discussion, we are going to talk about the importance of SOC2 in making enterprises more secure. Since security is one of Liminal's key features, we have a very interesting guest lineup with us, and I would like to introduce you to Jesus from an Inside Assurance. Hi, Jesus.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Also, we have Philip with us. Hi, Philip.
Hello, thank you for having us over, Akash.
And now I would like to introduce my co-host Ankit, who's Director Information Security at Liminal. Hi, Ankit.
Hey, hi Akansha.
So, going ahead with, let's just deep dive into this today's topic of discussion. I'll take a small minute asking all of you to just give a brief introduction about each of us, and so that we can just introduce ourselves to the audience, and then we can go ahead with the discussion for today. Let's start
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Jesus Jimenez. I'm one of the partners with Inside Assurance. I've been in the industry over 11 years. I'm former Ernst& Young, so Felipe and I co-founded Inside Assurance a few years back. So yeah, really looking forward to our conversation and just talk a little bit more about blockchain security and then yeah, how we can make an impact in the industry, right?
Right. Thank you, Jesus, for this lovely introduction. Philip, over to you.
Um, no, thank you for having us. My name is Felipe Saboya. I'm a CPA here in the US and former Ernst& Young as well. Started this journey with Jesus, and we have seen a huge demand on cybersecurity, obviously from the latest news. But yeah, I'm looking forward to helping and educating our listeners.
Thanks, Philip. Ankit, over to you.
Yeah, hi Akansha. Hi everybody. This is Ankit. I'm working as a director in information security, having a 8+ year of industry experience. So far, most of the years I have spent in crypto industry. Earlier, I was associated with Zeppe. Yeah, excited to be here.
Lovely. I think with this amazing guest lineup, we'll have a very insightful session with us today. So, I would like to ask both of you. The first question would be directed to both Philip as well as Jesus. So, can you just quickly tell me about Insight Assurance? Since the company is known for cybersecurity compliance, risk management, tax related services, could you please give us a brief introduction about the company and the services that you offer?
Absolutely. So Inside Assurance focuses on IT compliance, right? We're a risk advisor firm providing SOC 2 examinations, ISO 27001 certifications, PCI DSS assessments, HIPAA assessments, and a number of other security and privacy type of assessments for organizations looking to, simplify the world of compliance, right? Obviously, there is many frameworks and regulations that companies have to comply nowadays. Our goal is to working through like what the options are and what's best fitted for their organization. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's what we do on a day to day.
Philip, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, our strategy in regards to the company services. Obviously, educating the client, number one, provide confidence. And once our clients receive the certifications, obviously they have a competitive advantage. So that's kind of our focus, right? Obviously, making more secure, or at least to increase their security posture, and then for themselves, educate themselves into what's coming ahead, what are the new trends, and so on.
Right, of course. So, SOC2 is reportedly said that it controls the report capturing how a company safeguards its consumer data and how these controls are operating. So, my first question would be like, can you please tell me about what is the purpose and benefit of SOC 2 Type 2 certification for enterprises?
I
Felipe,
can
you want to
take
go ahead
that
and
one.
take that one?
Yeah. So the benefit, first of all, is to increase the security posture, right? All clients that come to us either are first time getting a certification, and also they have renewal is an annual engagement or an annual security certification. So I think the benefit is twofold. One, is to provide confidence to their clients. Once these enterprises are starting to sell to larger clients, these larger clients are requiring some kind of security certifications. SOC 2 being one of them. So that provides an advantage, I would say, a competitive advantage against their other peers. Um, and that would be the benefit pretty much. Obviously, we want to make sure that this SOC 2 is being used first to increase their security posture, and second to unlock revenue. We like to see our clients benefiting from this certification. So we teach them how to use it marketing wise and so on for their contracts.
All right. Jesus, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen like with several companies that we work with, whenever they finish their SOC 2 and their ISO certifications, right? I mean, they are able to start scaling, right? And I think that's important, right? I mean, obviously, as a small organization or like a medium-sized organization, um, you can still get away with filling out those security questionnaires and things like that. However, as you continue to grow, the expectation from the market, right, is for a company to show whether you get a certification like ISO or you go through an attestation like SOC 2 in order to show that security posture, show that you care about security and that your organization has some organizational security and other controls that are going to pretty much show that, hey, if your data comes to us, it is safe. We have some controls in place in order to secure it, right? Obviously, getting a certification doesn't guarantee that everything is secure. You can never get hacked. I mean, there's no guarantee on
Right.
that. However, it will definitely help the organization, as they show the security posture, have controls in place and make sure that at the very least you have an organized way of looking at security, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, Akansha. I had one question. Yeah. So,
yes, please.
yeah, just going ahead, like, what assurance does SOC 2 Type 2 gives to the customers of enterprise? Philip or Jesus, would you like to take?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like some of the assurances that it provides is that for the examination period that was tested by the auditor, right, by the third party auditor, that there were certain controls in place, right, related to security, availability, confidentiality, cross integrity of privacy, depending on which trust service categories you choose, right. That there were controls in place and that they operated effectively for that period of time. It also provides that some of the security commitments and requirements that you have in any of the MSA or any contracts that you have were also operating for that period.
All right. So while we talked about a lot of about the assurance that the customers get vis-a-vis the benefits and the purpose that enterprises have, what are the basic parameters that, according to you, that are required to complete SOC 2 Type 2 audit, and how long does it generally take to achieve this?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So So I mean, some of the areas. So there's the AICPA has some specific criteria that needs to be met in order for you to be a SOC 2 Type 2 compliant if you want to audit, right? The SOC 2 attestation goes through several areas related to organizational controls, right? Making sure that your employees go through certain trainings, that they are um, they are familiar with the policies, procedures. There's also some areas related to information security, right? Making sure that you have some logical access, some change management, some IT operations controls in order for you to be able to pass, if you want to call it, or complete the audit in a successful way, right? Um, how long does it take to complete? So there is an examination period that needs to be in place for that SOC 2 Type 2. Some companies go for a 3 month period on their first SOC 2 Type 2. After that, the expectation is that you probably go for a 12-month period, right? So you can show that your controls were operating effectively for that long. Um, so once you finish that 12 month, that 3 or 12-month period, right, basically you have to give some time for the auditor to do their procedures, to look through all the evidence, all the different controls that you had in place to make sure that they operated effectively, or if there are any follow-ups, any questions related to any of the evidence provided, that the auditor has the time to review it, right? Usually, like at least inside assurance, we're usually providing a SOC 2 Type 2 after 45 to 60 days after the examination period, right?
All
And
right.
that's after everything goes through the proper levels of review.
So, is there any particular time frame that a company has to live by or follow certain guidelines before applying for SOC 2?
So there is certain controls that the company needs to implement and make sure
Okay.
that they're in place, they're designed properly, and then when the company feels comfortable with that, then we'll recommend that you do a SOC 2 Type 1 first. That's a way for us to check the design of the controls. If the company has let's say, an expert on SOC 2, right, or like a VC or something like that, or a person or a resource like that, then we recommend, hey, go into the audit period and then work with an auditor that's going to be reviewing that evidence for that 3, 6, or 12-month period.
All right. Philip, would you like to add something?
I think Jesus is right on in regards of the parameters to complete. We at Inside Assurance, we also offer a pre-assessment, kind of a gap assessment before we start. Kind of, that gives us visibility on the client, make sure they understand the controls, make sure they're ready for that type 2, right? And in regards to the timing, it just depends on the client, right? There's certain clients that have urgency. We can go through a type 2. 3 months is the minimum examination window, and then obviously we go in to gather all the evidence and test it to make sure everything looks good. But minimum of 3 months, and then after that, usually clients choose to do an annual recurrence for the audit. So it's an annual certification.
All right. So, like once you get the certification, so every year you have to renew it. So it goes through that procedure. All right.
That will be ideal to provide confidence to their clients that their security controls are active and ongoing.
All right. So Ankit, since Liminal as an entity is also SOC 2 Type 2 certified, how was your experience and what were the learnings that were involved during the procedure?
So yeah, definitely. Since it is a SOC 2 Type 2 is a gold standard worldwide, we were definitely fortunate company to have that compliance with us. But yeah, if you see last 100 hacks in DeFi or a cryptocurrency industry, you will see more than 50 hacks could have been saved. Having a baseline controls, let's say
Absolutely.
from the industry standards, international standards, so that could have been saved. But yeah, having SOC 2 Type 2 gives us a chance to define a security constitution within an organization that really helps us define the policy and procedure along with the controls that we have. Yeah, the experience so far was quite smooth. Uh, like since we had association with Inside Assurance team, they also helped us really well.
That's lovely. I think the overall process in itself is pretty dense when it comes to all the level-headed practices that are taken into action, wherein you see if everything is secure. Because at the end of the day, for I think as per the current situation, the first thing that one person thinks about is mostly about the security aspect in terms of DeFi and crypto because of the current ongoing instances that have been going around. So, Philip, according to you, what are the best practices for maintaining compliance for SOC 2 Type 2?
So that's a great question. Generally, during your examination window, you want to make sure you communicate any changes to your auditor.
Right.
We are there obviously as a phase to provide a minimum of recommendations because we're auditors in this case. But and during the examination, you want to make sure you control your annual controls per policy. That's what we're
Mhm.
going to be evaluating at the end of the window. So any big changes, communication is key, I think. Any big changes in your infrastructure, headcount, and so on, it will be great to keep us informed because that's going to change the scope. We want to understand what's happening in the company, and obviously, we're going to be looking at the policies, making sure your policies, your controls that you put in policies are being operating effectively. So there's annual controls that you want to do, performance reviews, risk assessments, access reviews, things like that. Those are good to keep in mind.
So, since you talked about the risk, so what are actually the risks associated with not having a Type 2 SOC 2 Type 2 certification? Uh,
Jesus, you want to answer that?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say, right. I mean, as long as you have a security program in place, right, that is working, that management continues to support, right, having the right resources, having the right people, I think you should be okay on the security side of things. I think what SOC 2 brings to the table is that assurance by a third party saying that, hey, whatever security program, whatever controls you have in place are actually operating as they should, right? It is very easy to have a security program, having somebody as a third party, as an expert, validate that is actually working. It is great for any organization and will set you apart from your competition, right? And some of the other companies out there.
Absolutely. Since we are approaching the year end, what, according to you, are the best security trends that one can look up for specific to crypto industry that will dominate in 2023?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I would say definitely you continue, there's still continual rise in phishing attempts, right, by third
Right.
parties, hackers. People try to hack wallets and different infrastructures, right? Definitely making sure that companies are educating their users, right, that not only like organic people at the organization, but also some of the users on their platforms, so making sure that they're not falling for these phishing attempts that tend to happen, right? Obviously, using like 2FA, and also that before you begin any sort of relationship, whether it's B2C or B2B, that you know that you're working with reputable organizations, having a SOC 2 or like an ISO certification is a way to validate that, right? Obviously, I mean, you've seen all the different things happening in the industry in the last few months. So yeah, definitely educating the user and working with reputable companies is definitely going to be something that companies are going to look for in 2023.
Yeah.
But your thoughts?
In regards of the trends, like Jesus mentioned, in addition to that, I think there is, the other standards companies can focus on ISO 27001. That's one, and a big one that is coming is cryptocurrency security standard. That would be another audit that we will be offering in 2023 in regards of crypto related to cryptocurrency.
Oh, that's nice. Because I think right now, CCSS, these cryptocurrency security standards, is actually something that is looked upon because of the current situation that is happening. So many a times companies do tend to seek for certain level of certification to assure their users and their customers to that we are secure, and you can our platform is completely secure. So are there any other sort of standards like these that can be adopted to to ensure the customers that the platform is secure?
Yeah, starting with that one, CCSS is a pretty common one. I think that would be in our industry in regards of cryptocurrency and blockchain, that would be a standard for 2023, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, based on what has happened in the current market. But
Right,
that, I mean, that would be a pretty good audit to get for companies of your industry. And that gives confidence to your users, to your business partners, that your wallet is secure, is somehow secure under the standard.
right. Uh,
Since Akansha, since we are already on the topic of trends, security trends, I would like to ask Philip and Jesus, like, do we see any specific controls that are coming around in SOC 2 Type 2 specifically for cryptocurrency industry?
So one of the areas, right? I mean, so AICPA doesn't specifically have any controls that must be in place. However, there's some guidance for blockchain provided by the AICPA. I think it is important to have those conversations with your auditor to see how can you make sure that you incorporate some controls that are related to your business into your SOC 2 examination, right? Obviously, that's going to vary from company to company. Obviously, I mean, making sure that the admin users, the password settings, MFA, basic controls like that are in place on any platform are definitely important, right? So yeah, so I mean, I think that's going to be from on a case by case basis, right? And obviously, always making sure that you are checking internally, making sure that the whole team has buyout on that, and that your management team is following and giving you the support to have the right resources, because that's the most important area, I would say.
True.
Sure. Ankit, I would like to ask you one last question over here, wherein I would like to ask, like, what all security practice as an organization does Liminal cater to, so as to say that we provide the utmost, as we say, as the liminal secure virtue to our clients?
Sure. So first of all, like since our conceptual line, it says we are a self custody wallet management service. Self custody. When it comes to self custody, we promote highest level of security, and we promote a security first approach. Um, Being in the industry, like where we see number of hacks being you know. Uh, having an industry, it is most important for us as a custody provider to get ourselves on a place where people can trust on us, and even regulator can trust on us. So I think going forward, like we would like to be a regulated entity in any of the region we work going forward, and that is what the main, the pipeline objective for us, and specifically in security and compliance, right?
Absolutely. So I think on that note, it was really exciting and lovely for us to have you host you here at Liminal's channel. Thank you so much, Jesus and Philip, for taking out time to be a part of this webinar. Any parting thoughts that you would like to share?
I would say, just keep in touch with the auditor. We're here to help. We're here to help you in regards to your security posture. Any new trends that are coming, we will be up to date on that. So reach out. Happy to provide any information that we can.
Jesus, any parting thoughts?
No, I mean, just thank you for having us. I mean, it's definitely a pleasure working with you all, and yeah, we'll definitely like Felipe said, just to stay in contact with your auditor, keep up with follow the company on LinkedIn, right? Inside Assurance, as we constantly put out content that is related to what's happening in the industry, what's happening with specific frameworks and certifications. So yeah, yeah, looking forward to a very successful 2023, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. It was absolute delight for us to have you here. And for all those people who are listening for this for the very first time, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also please do follow Insight Assurance on LinkedIn to get latest news about crypto security and the parameters that one needs to look out for. Thank you so much for joining us here and sharing your valuable insights. This webinar aims to spread more knowledge and educate the masses about the blockchain and crypto industry. If you want to talk about any specific topic in our upcoming episodes, please do comment and let us know. We come up with new episodes every alternate Thursday, so remember to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to know more about Liminal, you can click on the website link mentioned in the description box below. Thank you so much for taking our time. I hope you all have a happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Happy
Bye
Bye.
bye.
holidays.
Take care.